Okay, now they got more on David and Celeste. Now they say she overdosed. Let's see what they talking about and how it happened. Well, how it supposedly happened.
Let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, y'all know I always tell y'all, it's like these celebrities got some type of diplomatic immunity pass, some type of get out of jail free card.
Shit, no,
I don't know what it
don't.
is, but I always tell y'all that the same rules and laws that apply to us
Apply to
doesn't
them.
seem like it applies to them.
It
And
do.
today we got another
I know
example,
it seemed
clear
like
example
it do.
as to why I always say that. Now, singer D4Vd, if y'all have been living under a rock and you don't know what's going on, he has been accused, or he was a person of interest at first, when
He
it would
still
come
should
out
be a
that
person
his
of interest.
girlfriend
Not
or
was, he
alleged
still should be.
underage girlfriend was found in the back of a Tesla that belonged to him, and they found it because they smelled a foul odor and said that that car had been there for weeks. Now, this comes after it was abandoned up in the Hollywood Hills, where it was ticketed, and it got so much tickets to the point to where they just towed it. They took it to a tow lot where people started smelling something that was just crazy. And when they did their investigations, they
wow.
would find that Celeste Rivas, who happens to have some type of correlation to D4VD, was found with a body in the front trunk console of the Tesla. Now, automatically, if you was an average person, you would say, well, of course, D4VD had something to do with it because it was his car. The car was abandoned not too far from where he lived. And on top of that, everybody seen her last with him. Whether it was online, social media, they had a lot of correlation with each other, in which they had an online presence that made his audience quickly pick up that the two was either dating or something closer than he made it seem. And it was weird because everybody know that Celeste was
If they didn't
underage.
know, they was questioning
Now, of
it.
course, with social media being social media, after this news was spread that Celeste's body was found in the front of D4VD's trunk, what did they do? They went to his music lyrics, they went to all type of pictures, and everything that pointed fingers that D4VD was sending subliminal messages that either he unalived somebody or he know of someone being unalived in the same way, form, or fashion Celeste Rivas was. And he even went as far as having a girl that looked just like her in one of his videos, where he kind of described the situation where he had to unalive a girl. Crazy. Now, of course, he used all type of metaphors and subliminals and figurative speech, but everybody kind of picked up because we see in between the gray area. Shortly after that, police would raid his Hollywood Hills home, in which they said it didn't belong to him, but he was renting it, and it was the last known address that he had that they believed he would be at. But lo and behold, he actually was on tour, and it's kind of strange because after all this came out, he canceled all his further tour dates. Now, with all that being said, you would think that at least D4VD would be taking him for questioning. We're not sure if he did or if he didn't because it wasn't revealed to the public. But however, if it was the average person, I think we would have been locked up by now. Because usually when they don't have no suspects in mind, or if they don't have no pictures, evidence, surveillance, or anything, the only thing they have to go off of is the evidence that they was given. And when you pay attention to the evidence, it seemed like everything leads to D. We see the pictures of the two, and even if he don't get hit with any charges pertaining to her unaliving, at least we know that this man was dealing with her and she was underage. Her mother said that she had a boyfriend and said that the boyfriend name was David, right? Then we will find out that she was stuffed in the front of David's car. So once again, all fingers are pointing to him, but a crazy twist has came within this case, and still David hasn't been taken into custody, and it's looking like he might not even be a suspect no longer. And this is because we will recently find out that a private investigator was actually assigned to this case. I'm assuming that it's coming from David's end, and the conclusion of the private investigation is them maybe Celeste overdosed and it wasn't no foul play. But however, the reason why her body was stuffed in the trunk is because they were trying to hide the fact that she overdosed and he was messing with a minor. According to a Fox 11 News article, it'll say, quote, while the investigation continues, Fisher, the reason LAPD has said it's unclear whether there's any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body. Although no details have been released, Fisher thinks it's possible The young teen's death could be linked to an overdose, with the body concealed to hide a relationship in the 20-year-old's finger. This could have been an overdose, and they panicked.
So now they gonna change to the overdose thing. So yeah, they got everybody listen to his music, listen to the songs, make the songs blow up, so you can juvenate some money, so they can come out and say stuff like this. Oh yeah, it is way more to this than what we seeing.
And hit her body because they didn't want to expose a relationship between her and the minor. Notice that concealing the body is a misdemeanor in California. Sheesh. Now, if you pay right, as you
That's
can
a
see,
misdemeanor?
it seems like they're trying to let David or
Man, that's
here's what I think,
in
right?
their life
It's
in
one
Milwaukee.
thing to overdose, but it's another thing for a minor to have drugs, period. So now the next question is, who gave her the drug? And due to her overdosing and being a minor, that person should be charged as well. I'm sure she didn't just
Charged
do it
with
herself.
murder. Whoever
And
gave
if
her the
she
drugs
did do it herself, and that's the story that
or
they trying
supplied
to
her
run
with
with,
the drugs,
then
getting
why
charged
wasn't
with
the
the murder.
police called? Why was her body stuffed and hidden in the front of a Tesla? That's not something somebody does when they're innocent. That's something somebody does when they're trying to hide something. Now, they saying that maybe it was done because he wanted to hide the relationship that he was having with a minor. But what sense does that make, right? That's what it make for you to hide the body and make yourself look like an M suspect for taking somebody's life, rather than you just being looked at as somebody that was dating a minor. Which one is more serious to you? In either way, you'll still get in trouble. Whether it
They
was
both
you dating a minor and
messed
you
up
being
charges.
overage, or you being accused of unaliving a minor. The name right here. And they also said that the private
They both
investigator
messed up charges,
is
no
to
matter
note
how you
that
look at it.
concealing a body is a misdemeanor in California. Why would he need to mention that? Why would he need to highlight that? And shame on California, because how is hiding a body just a misdemeanor?
Yeah, that's crazy. Hiding a corpse or a body or whatever.
I do
A misdemeanor. That's a pure
Or if I
felony
get-
everywhere else. I don't know.
a misdemeanor,
I don't
no,
know why
misdemeanor.
that's a pure felony.
right? Or grand larceny theft. These are that
That's crazy. These charges is
hiding
crazy.
a
They don't
body-
make no sense. Listen to what he
minor
said.
to have drugs, period. So now the next question is, who gave her the drug?
they
And due
going
to her
jail.
overdosing and being a minor, that person should be charged as well. I'm sure she didn't just do it herself. And if she did do it herself, and that's the story that they trying to run with, then why wasn't the
She didn't
police
make the
called?
drugs herself.
Why was her body stuffed and
Well, she got
hidden
them from
in the
somewhere.
front of a Tesla? That's not something somebody does when they're innocent.
She got them drugs
That's
from
something
somewhere.
somebody does when they're trying to hide something. Now, they saying that maybe it was done because he wanted to hide the relationship that he was having with a minor. But what sense does that make, right? What sense would it make for you to hide the body and make yourself look like an M suspect for taking somebody's life, rather than you just being looked at as somebody that was dating a minor? Which one is more serious to you? In either way, you'll still
both
get in
of them
trouble.
messed up.
Whether it was
Like I
you dating a
said.
minor and you being overage, or you being accused of unaliving a minor. So yeah, something ain't right here. And they also said that the private investigator made it his business to note that concealing a body is a misdemeanor in California. Why would he need to mention that? Why would he need to highlight that? And shame on California, because how is hiding a body just a misdemeanor? Right?
Yeah,
So you
that's
mean to tell
crazy.
me I could be in charge of hiding a body where I might have had something to do with it or not? And you mean to tell me if I get caught, that's only a misdemeanor? Do y'all know what let me tell you what a misdemeanor is, right? A misdemeanor is like fraud or grand larceny, theft, things of that nature, not hiding a body
Yeah,
that
that's
been missing for
that's like
months,
murder. That's
which
like
is crazy.
hiding
And you know what? I
evidence.
realized this overdose epidemic been a thing, right? And it's the easiest way to get away with something, not knowing that you can overdose somebody purposely.
Exactly.
Right? You could literally overdose somebody on purpose. And when you pay attention to Rich Homie Quan, God bless the dead, Rich Homie Quan and his unaliving just didn't make sense. They said he overdosed too, but it was a lot of foul play and things that didn't make sense. Now that just got blown under the rug because, of course, a whole bunch of things in this world start happening. But when we was keen in on the details that we got, about his unaliving, and then we seen the body cams and everything. They say he overdosed. Something don't make sense. Then we heard the story from the people that was there. It just don't make sense. So I guess this is a new way to get away with catching a body. Just say they overdose. Simple as that. And you could purposely make somebody OD.
You'll go from murder
but
to
anyway,
manslaughter.
y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. How do y'all feel about this new news that came out where they're saying that D4Vd may not even be charged with the unaliving of this minor?
I think
no matter
just,
what
it's gimmicks
evidence
to let
or
people listen to
clues
his
that
music.
may lead up to him. I guess if they don't got no real actual evidence other than the fact that she was unalived in the front of an abandoned Tesla, I don't know, man. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
I don't know. I think this is just beginning to be a gimmick. Like, I don't know, because he still ain't being charged. Anybody else would have been in jail. They would have been had footage of who put her in the car. Yeah, I think it's just a gimmick to try to push his music, but we'll see how it in. But until next time, like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.